Hello there, and then welcome to a brand new video. This is How Beyond Numbers, where we learn maths the easy way. In this lesson, we are on question 3a of BECE 2025. Without much ado, let's quickly look into it. It is given that a equals 2, 3, b is x negative 3, and then c is 7, 3. What are we to do? We have to find the value of x if 2a plus b is equal to c. And then the I says you have to find d, which is equal to c minus 3a. And then I says we want the magnitude of what? D. So without much ado, let's quickly look into it. Now, how do we approach this question? For the first one, that is our I. All it says we should do is to find the value of x. If we have our 2a plus b being equal to what? C. You see, that is our equation. Now let's do our substitution. You know what your a is, you see. So we know our a is equal to 2, 3, right? And we know our b is also equal to x negative 3. And then our c is equal to 7, 3. All right. So doing our substitution, then we are going to have what? 2 into bracket your a, which is 2, 3, then plus your b, which is x negative 3. All right. Is equal to your c, which is 7, 3. Now this is what we call equality of vectors. You see, and this 2 over here is a scalar that is multiplying these vectors, and scalars multiply the numerator and also multiply the denominator. Take note, you don't treat it as multiplication of fractions, no, but rather you have your 2 times 2, then your 2 times 3. All right, then plus your x negative 3 is equal to your 7, 3. So with this now, we have to what? Solve for our x. But before that, let's evaluate this. 2 times 2 gives us 2. So we have 2 times 2 gives us 4. So we have our 4. Then 2, 3 giving us 6. You see? So plus our x minus 3 equals what? 7, 3. So this is where we have our x. This particular vector is where we have our x. So we can take all of this over here and then move it to the right hand side. And how do we do that? So in that case, we are going to rewrite this again so that we have our x negative 3 is equal to, you already have your 7, 3 over here. So 7, 3 is still written over here. Then minus, because this vector is going to the other side, you see. So minus 4, 6, you see. So with that done, we have our x negative 3 being equal to, this is 7 minus 4. So 7 minus 4, and then for the y component, we have 3 minus 6. All right. So x negative 3 then gives us what? 7 minus 4. 7 minus 4 gives us a 3. Then 3 minus 3 gives us a negative 3. And as you can see, the y component is just the same as this y component we have over here. Hence, we can say, therefore, our x is equal to 3. And that is all for our solution. Solved. Right? So let's look at the second part of the question. Second part of the question says what? D is equal to what? C minus A. D is equal to C minus A. And what do we know our A to be? So our A from the question was 2, 3. And then the C from the question was 7, 3. You see, you can always pause and try your hands. You see, so our D is now equal to our C, which is 7, 3. So 7, 3. Then minus your 3A. So 3 into bracket your A, which is 2, 3. Take note, when multiplying scalars by vectors, what do? The scalar multiplies the x component and it also multiplies the y component. Hence, our D is also going to be what? 7, 3 minus 3 times 2. You see, so 3 times 2 and then 3 times 3. You see, so our D is equal to 7, 3 minus 3 times 2 gives us a 6, and 3 times 3 gives us a 9. So we can now subtract these vectors. So that we have 7 minus 6, and then 3 minus 9. How are we getting 7 minus 6? X component minus X component, Y component minus Y component. You see that? So our D now equals negative 1. That is, sorry, our D now equals 1. That is 7 minus 6, and then 3 minus 9, giving us what? Negative 6. So this is the value of the D we want. All right. Now let's look at the last part of the question. The last part says you should look for this, right? That is D, and then there are 2 bars on it. What does this actually mean? So anytime you see a vector with these 2 bars, that is D with these 2 bars like this, what it means is solve for the magnitude of the vector. Now we know that for vector A, which is equal to x, y, its magnitude is given as what? The square of the sum of the square of the components, then we find their square root. That is the same formula we want to imply over here, right? So for D, which we have rightfully solved to be what? 1, negative 6. Then it simply means that its magnitude, that is the magnitude of D, is going to be 1 squared plus 6 squared. Then we find the square root of what we have over here. So 1 squared gives us what? 1. And then 6 squared gives us a 36. You see? And if we add these, we have what? 37. All right? 37. So this is our final answer. So with that said, you can try out these questions I have here. There are just 3, just as we have solved, right? The same format. If there's anything you don't understand, you can always go back there and then just go through to test to what enhance your understanding, right? This is how Beyond Numbers where you learn maths the easy way. If this is your first time here, then I've been solving questions of the 2025 BECE. And you can check the playlist where I've solved from question number 1. And now we are on question number what? 3A. So we'll look at question number 3B in the next one. Stay tuned and bye.